Hi everybody, this is MXUX. This is a quick video on the Faraday Future, the FF91 I believe this is. This is a SWOT analysis. Let's see if we can get to the presentation here. Not many people doing much work on this particular topic. You know, a SWOT analysis is it's an old business school thing. It's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So we're going to go through that. That's the SWOT. SWOT. So we're on S, strength. And these are the issues that are facing Faraday Future. And let me just give you a quick background on Faraday Future. I believe it was started in 2014 by JTYT, a Chinese national. And I have a slide on him later. I don't want to go too deeply into it. Almost went bankrupt. He borrowed a lot of money. And then it did go bankrupt, and now it's on its second iteration. A little bit like Aptera. A little different though. But let's get off. And what they have is they have that car that was in the opening slide, which is their Halo car. And I'll go over that in a minute. But anyway, let's get started. Here's the strength. The number one strength of Faraday Future right now is the new global CEO, and that is this Karsten Breitfeld. I am a German engineer. This is what he says. Anyway, I've watched a few interviews with him. Personally, I like him. He says this is going to be his last job ever, and he is committed to this project. And he says everybody that's on his staff there is committed to the project because a lot of people left. And they've been working on this car for years, and he wants to bring it home. So he's got a PhD in mechanical engineering. Before he did this, I think he had a slight stint with Icon Cars. Anyway, he was the founders of Byton, which is a Chinese car company. That's the one that has the screen that goes all the way across the dashboard. I don't know if you've seen it. He left that company because he did not like the interference of the Chinese directly in the company. Anyway, before that, he was 20 years at BMW and group vice president. He headed the BMW i8 program, and that's the i8 up there. And that is the first supercar hybrid ever made. But I advise everybody to take a look at some videos of that on YouTube. What a fantastic car. I mean, that is a really, really cool car. And he got that thing off the ground and running in sales in 38 months. So this guy he's a crackerjack, and he's got the chops, and he's got the ice chops, he's got the EV chops, and anyway, he says this is my last position. So anyway, I don't want to. I'm just going to stop right there. Anyway, great guy, inspires confidence. Watch an interview with him, I'll tell you. Really like him. Absolutely a crackerjack. You know, the second strength, number two, is this FF91. Now I've got a few pictures here. In the center, you see that they have a heads-up display in the Faraday. I think they have 12 screens in it. They have a 27-inch TV that folds down out of the roof for the back seats. There's recliners in the back seats. This is, it's like a limousine. They're calling it an SUV. It's got executive seats in the back. It's got a pretty long wheelbase. It's got opera doors. I advise everybody to check a couple videos out on this. Anyway, this car has been in development for a long time. A lot of work has been done on it. Uh, you know, billions, literally billions of dollars have been spent on this. Um, all kind of Tesla people worked on putting this together, and there's a lot of really interesting things about it. Uh, One of the things is it's got a flooded battery, so the batteries essentially sit in a cooling liquid, which provides all kind of efficiencies and other things. Uh, but as you look at the videos, from different angles, it looks different ways. I don't think anybody's taken a good picture of this thing yet. It is a pretty fantastic looking car. And I'll tell you, it's very cool. I think it's not like anything out there. I mean, the size of it, and anyway, the point is, it's a great product. Now, it started development a few years ago. I'm sure the CEO is going to snap this thing to all anything that might be slightly out of date. He's going to take care of on it, but like he did on the i8. And anyway, check this out. It is a great looking car, and it's engineered on a skateboard, and it's an immersive experience. It's got all these screens in it. The idea is, as soon as you walk into it with your phone, everything from your phone just jumps onto all the screens, and it's well, let me get into these other slides. We'll explain why that's like that. Shrink number three, they have a plant already in Hanford, and this thing was up and running when they almost went broke the last time. They laid off 300 employees here, and they built 10 or 12, easily 10 or 12 of these things. And this plant, it's 1 million square feet. Um, it's got a capacity of 10,000 vehicles per year. Anyway, they've been building the FF91 here, and the CEO's plan is to build the FF91 here in America and to build the lower level cars in Asia. This is an old Pirelli tire factory they took over in 2017. It's nearly production ready. The point I'm trying to make here is this is not an empty warehouse, and it does need capex, but they're not starting with a blank sheet here. And of course, the CEO's ex-BMW. I'm very confident that they can get this thing up and running. It shouldn't be. I'm not going to say it's easy. It shouldn't be a problem, but anyway. So that's another thing they got. They got the plant to start. Okay, we're going to go over how they're going to do the rest of their production in a minute. But this is going to start their Halo vehicle out, and it's there. They've used it to make the vehicle already. They can do the production numbers they need to do. So there you go. Now, they just are in the process of completing a SPAC um, in the second quarter here. They're going to go public. This SPAC is getting no coverage, very little coverage. I mean, if you look at YouTube, there might be one or two videos on this SPAC just in the last week or so, but there has been absolutely no coverage of this thing. Very few interviews with the CEO, a couple of blurbs. In general, the press, especially, not so much the television, but the press is kind of poo-pooing the whole thing because this company has had its troubles in the past, and they've gone almost broke, and the ex-CEO had to go into Chapter 11. But anyway, the point is, we'll go over that in a second. Anyway, this is an undercover IPO. It's taken the pressure off of everybody there, okay, because nobody has any expectations, and I believe it's lulling the competitors as well. I don't think they're taking it seriously. I don't think anybody's taking this seriously. I am taking it seriously though. I think it's a cool car, and I think somebody really needs to shoot some good footage of it to get that across. But anyway, they're raising $1 billion. Property Solutions Acquisition Corp, PSAC is the name of the SPAC. It's Q2 2021. 75 million, implied equity value 3.4 billion. They're gonna, I think they're gonna clear about $1 billion out of this SPAC, and they'll end up being listed on the NASDAQ FFIE, and market cap's like almost 5 billion. So they just raised a lot of money. And I'm going to go over this later, but they have some other finances coming in from Asia possibly too. Okay, let's get into the SWOT, the W, the weaknesses. YJ or YT, I believe they call him YT. He is the founder, and this is a very interesting guy, Chinese national. And this is one thing I thought was pretty cool about him. Netflix was a big revelation here. And most of the technology, let's face it, is copied by China. Or not copied, let's just say they're emulating what's already been successful. This guy actually started a video on demand service, Netflix, in China 2 years before Netflix launched here. So he's got about 10 other companies. He was a billionaire. I think his worth was like 6 billion or more. I don't want to go into too much detail here. Maybe in the future I'll go into another video on this. What has happened is a lot of the investors said this guy has got to go in the background, and we have to bring in a professional CEO to run the company to get the investment started. And he owes a lot of people money in China. He's paid out $3 billion. He's put all his stock into a trust to pay vendors and stuff. So there's a lot of financial drama here, and he's very polarizing. And I said he's blacklisted for debts in China. And I just saw that the U.S. Attorney General, I think, is looking into his. He didn't file bankruptcy. He's in a reorganization, Chapter 11. So there's that. Anyway, but he put his own. Now, I got to say, I have down here that he and Elon Musk are two sides of the same coin. He's done a lot of what Elon Musk did. He started video on demand. Musk started PayPal. Musk took his money, and Musk basically poured all his money into Tesla. And his wife left him. I believe it's because he put all his money into Tesla. And Tesla was going to go broke. And the only thing that saved Tesla, I mentioned this in another, is a major investment from Mercedes, which they traded for stock, which they sold when the stock was nothing. And then, of course, we just found out recently, when he was going through production hell on the Model 3 in Fremont, it's come out that they were, 3 months away from being insolvent. So had that not worked, as I say here, you might be able to substitute Elon Musk's name for this guy's name. Anyway, I have down here high risk profile overachiever, and so much like Elon Musk. I mean, the original founders of Tesla said we had to get away from Elon Musk. He just takes too many risks. He's such a high risk person. These kind of guys are like this, okay? And again, Elon Musk spent all his money, put all his money in Tesla. His wife left him. He was sleeping on the floor in his buddy's apartment. Same kind of story. Uh, anyway, this guy has promised to make good on his debts, and he has given over all his stock to a trust to pay these vendors, and he has promised to make good on everything. And I think he's basically liquidated $3 billion of his debt, and he's reorganizing the other $3 billion in a bankruptcy. So anyway, he surrendered his stock to settle debts. I mean, who knows, right? Anyway, one of the things is, and again, this could have been Elon Musk had, he not made it through production hell. He's the Chief Product and User Officer. And now here's another tidbit about him. They had a high-profile CFO who left Faraday to start Canoe. I think he might have been ex-BMW. I'm not sure. Anyway, he looked at the books and he told YT, "Hey, you got to file bankruptcy. That's it." And YT says, "No way, we're not going to do it." And the guy left the company. And then they brought in the new CEO. So anyway, a little bit about the founder. He has seen, to restart this company, he had to take, he's in the background now. He's the chief product and user officer. Okay. Never heard of it. Never heard of that title before, but that's his title. But anyway, he's a Chinese Elon Musk, I think, if Elon Musk didn't get the breaks. All right, next slide. Weakness number 2 is money. Even though they raised $1 billion off the SPAC, a lot of people feel that it's not going to be enough to get them into production. They have no revenue. They have 14K in pre-orders, but they're not saying which ones have a 5K deposit and which ones don't. So there's some question of how many orders they have. And the SPAC is really not running up in price, seeing as this is going to go public in a couple of weeks. So the stock may lag as well. Again, I think a lot of people are underestimating this company, but I mean, they have raised a lot of money, and doing a couple videos on these car companies, it is really expensive to start a car company. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars. It is a massive undertaking. Anyway, moving on to the next slide. Opportunity number 1. Now we're into opportunities of the SWOT. Okay, just had the largest stimulus package in the history of the country in America. I got vaccinated today. The pandemic, the Rona, seems to be beaten, or is getting beaten. Faraday Futures is going to go public, and they're going to launch a car a year from now. Basically, they are going to be in a macro environment that the country hasn't seen in a really long time. So couldn't be better. That is a real opportunity for them. They're going to have a great macro environment to jump into. Opportunity number 2. They are making their Halo product in California, but they have OEM production agreements with Geely in China and possibly Foxconn to make cars there. They also have an agreement pending with MXUX in South Korea to do the same. So their lower cost models are going to be produced via contract, like the iPhone, I guess you could say. Actually, Foxconn is probably going to be involved. And this is going to allow them to increase their production capacity without increasing their capex, and all this production is going to be close to these Asian markets, which are the biggest markets, the China market, right? So this is another opportunity they have, and the association that the new CEO has with Geely, for example, there are financial. I mean, there's a lot of uh, financial things going on with Asia as well. I think this may be a source of funding, much like NEO. Well, perhaps not like NEO, but in the sense that NEO got funding. Anyway, they got some really good OEM, and these are great manufacturers here that make cars for other, BMW and other companies as well. So there you go. That's another opportunity they have. No capex, you know. There you go. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I have down here risk of ridicule and not having this video age well. Uh, I've watched everything I can watch on this company, and I've watched every related piece of information and read as much information as I could. And let me start by saying Apple hasn't ruled them out. That's what we know for sure. Apple has said nothing about them. But Apple is going to produce a car, and they say what much like the Apple TV, they're not going to build a TV. They're going to build, it's going to be the operating system and the self-driving system. Although, who knows? Maybe they will go into manufacturing. But the odds are they're going to team up with a manufacturer to make a car, and they're going to make it the Apple ecosystem car. Okay. There's a lot of breadcrumbs on this. Karsten, Sandy Monroe. I mean, the way this car is built, uh, I mean, some of the demos, they're using an Apple with Siri to send commands to the car. And it is really set up, uh, it's set up, how can I say this? You have your phone, you go into the car, boom, your phone screen goes on the screen in the car, okay? Or you're watching a movie while you're waiting for the car to come on your phone, and you get in the back seat and the screen pops down and the movie continues playing on the screen in the back seat, okay? Uh, this is all integrated, and this is what YT, and this isn't some afterthought or some add-on. This whole car has been developed with this ecosystem, with this concept in mind. So, all right, and just have down here that Faraday Future has the same O as Apple, Asia manufacturing, American design, Southern California design, Foxconn. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm probably wrong about this, but I had to put it in here. You'll drive yourself crazy. You watch enough of these, I guess you can find anything if you look hard enough. Anyway, I said it. That's it. Let's move on. Okay, threat number one, and this is basically the threat. Look at that Mercedes ESQ. That looks a lot like the Geely. I mean the Faraday Future. Well, Geely's going to make it. Uh, that's coming out this year, supposed to. Luxury, high-end luxury sedan. So there you go. That's number one. Then you got the Porsche Taycan. Okay, and then the Tesla Model S Plaid is $150,000 now. So the retail on the Faraday is 180,000, I believe. But these are the threats. I mean, there are real competitors making real cars, and there is real competition. And I think this Mercedes is definitely a threat. This is the new EV, and I think it would probably be considered the major threat at this time. But you know, they have execution threats and financial threats and other things. But let's just say that you know, their Asian deep money will take care of the financial problems, and this guy from BMW can handle the execution. It's going to be, I think, the competition is going to be it, and they're going to have quality. But you know, this i8, this BMW i8 that Kirsten Carlson did, man, what a great car. Anyway, that's what I think. That's the presentation. I hope you guys liked it. Faraday Future, going public. There you go. Here's the creepy music. I am not a financial advisor. There's the Faraday. I don't think these pictures, like I say, I don't think anyone's really photographed this car well. But if you see it from different angles, it looks almost like a different car. Anyway, I think it's a really cool vehicle. And I think this topic and this product and this company and this stock are being overlooked by the market. So anyway, guys, this is MXUX. I hope you liked the video.